Hey, Start Nation, Isogenics, are we ready to go? We are live around the Isogenics globe, and welcome to our third Start Talk series. I'm super excited for this one, and thank you for kind of holding out on a week for us as we kind of teed up our Australian celebration down here in Brisbane last week. So we're excited to be back with you today for, as I say, our third kind of Start Talk series. And today we're going to be talking about setting the appointment and following up, one of my favorite topics. But before we kind of get into that with this one today, there's something I wanted to remind everybody on the line today about, and that is our global Give Back Day. I mean, I'm sure many of you would have seen it around the social media stuff. So this is going to be on May the 7th. So we're going to be having a massive global Give Back Day. I mean, one of our pillars at Isogenics, of course, is contribution, and it's just such a great thing to be part of. So this is going to be totally run by you guys in the field, and if you'd love to get involved with this, you can jump on to, where am I? You can jump onto startyourlife.com/contributions, and there's a whole bunch of information there. We can send you out social media stuff, there's videos, everything that you need to do to get involved. And this is such a cool thing, just to have your teams, a small group of people to be involved with. I mean, it could be, you know, going and planting a tree. It could be cleaning up a beach if you live down by the beaches. It could be, you know, helping out at a homeless shelter or a soup kitchen, you know, feeding the homeless. It could be going and painting a park, which is kind of cool to do. There's so many stuff we can do. You can go and read books to kids in schools. Lots of creative ideas that we can get involved with there. So May the 7th, ladies and gentlemen, is our Global Give Back Day. So make sure you jump online and check all the information out. It's going to be awesome. All right, well, we're going to kick things off with our third call, and I'm super excited for this one because I have one of my great friends joining me online today. I mean, I absolutely love her to pieces. I travel with her, you know, we hang out in Los Angeles sometime, and she's been an absolute huge ambassador for this movement. I mean, she contributes so much of her time. You know, we've just watched this young girl just grow and grow and grow, and I absolutely love her. I know she's adored by all of our kind of Start Nation guys around the globe. So I know she's in Bali at the moment, so let's bring her on. So welcome, Mara Pomana.
Woohoo! Yes! Oh my God, I love it. Thanks so much, Steve. I'm so excited to be here live, and I know I'm like so many of my friends and so many of the Start community peeps are here, so I'm just so excited to talk to everybody and just share all of my tips. And thanks, Steve, for the intro. I love you.
Oh, good to have you, and it's always kind of great to see your big beaming smile, and, you know, as I say, you contribute so much to this movement, so thank you for all you do, Mara. So let's jump straight into it, and let's talk about, well, before we go into it, one of the key things I think about being successful in this business is being organized. And, you know, there's so many people on their Isogenics journey in different kind of levels. You might be working full-time, you might be working part-time, you might be doing Isogenics full-time. So let's just talk a little bit first about being organized and really kind of managing your time.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've recently at Celebration saw Susan Sly, and she gave us a really good kick up the butt in terms of getting organized. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I could be in Bali, I could be on the beach working, but at the end of the day, we do need to have some sort of an office area where we can really get organized and have a whiteboard and get all of our meetings ready and know who we're speaking with. So the one thing that people, I think, get a little bit confused when they start Isogenics is they don't know how much time to allow it and how to get organized. But that's the first question, is how much time do you have per day, per week? So, for example, when I first got introduced to Isogenics, I was working full-time in admin. So I literally had about an hour a day to spend in Isogenics. And although that's not a lot of time, it was actually fantastic because I knew I had 1 hour. So in 1 hour, I thought, okay, if I break it down into 2, I could do 30 minutes of just messaging 3 to 5 new people a day, and then nighttime when I'd come home, I'd follow up with them, because that kind of worked, because a lot of people came home from work anyway. So I said, hey, did you end up watching that movie? What was your favorite bit about it? So I knew it was almost easier than it is now for me to organize myself. So if you're there, if you're working full time, fantastic, because you can really get organized a lot easier. So first thing you need to ask yourself, I think, in terms of getting organized is, how much time are you going to give yourself to work on your Isagenix business? And then once you do that, that's when you go, okay, how many people do I need to speak with to hit my daily, weekly goals, whatever you need to get out of Isagenix personally. So there's no right or wrong. It's just knowing exactly where you're at and what you want to get out of it.
Awesome, awesome. So let's talk about, okay, we talked about kind of like setting the time and really kind of using that time, whether you've got 1 hour a week or a day or 5 hours, whatever it is, but to use that time productively. And ensure that we're sending kind of tools out, we're connecting with people, and we're really kind of doing the do. So let's talk about setting the appointment for just a second here, and really having posture about what you're doing. How important is that, Mara?
Yeah. Well, setting the appointment is definitely not something I was born with, and it was definitely not something I knew how to do at the beginning. In fact, I was so bad at doing that. To start with, I had no idea. I mean, I hadn't even, at the beginning, I hadn't even read Eric Worre, so I didn't even know what network marketing was. I didn't know it was like a profession. I didn't even know I had to learn certain skills to do this. So, setting up an appointment and then further following up, they're actual real skills that if you really want to be successful in this business, you kind of have to learn. And you kind of have to then practice so many times until you become so confident and you have so much certainty that it's basically second nature. So setting up the appointment at the beginning was so awkward for me, Steve, because I thought, first of all, who's going to take me seriously? I've just worked as a journalist and reporter, and then I've worked in admin. So who's going to just be taking me seriously when I say, so when is a good time for you to talk about, health and wellness? Because I felt like I'm too young. I was 23 when I started, so I thought no one's going to take me seriously. So if you're out there listening and thinking, oh my God, how do I set appointments? Is anyone going to take me seriously? This is really awkward for me. I was there. And then what happened is I started taking seriously. I started thinking Isagenix is really a business, so I have to treat it like one. So for example, if I had a traditional business now and I was selling, for example, let's say solar panels, and I heard someone say that they wanted to get it before summer or whatever, I would be there making sure I set an appointment up to go to their house to check on them. That would give me what, 7-10 grand. So there's no way I'm not going to try and set up an appointment. So the first thing to do is, I think, to think, what's your perception in regards to appointments? Are you treating Isagenix as a business? Even if you go 1 hour a day, are you treating it like that and you're setting the appointments up? So I think the appointment is something that it's up to you to do if you want to get a serious income or serious respect from your peers, family, and friends when you're doing Isagenix. So I think that's what it's all about. But it can be fun. You can do it with so much love and integrity and authenticity. You can still be yourself. So it doesn't have to be the scary thing. Do you want me to kind of give a few examples, or should we go into more detail? Like, you guide me, Steve, because... Are you there? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought I lost
we got you. You froze for a sec, but we got you. So let's talk about, casting a vision for a brand new person. Say you're talking to me, Mara. Casting a vision for me to get excited about, but also casting a vision that I'm going to be part of something even bigger, a global vision. How do you kind of do that with a new person?
Yeah. So I hope you can hear me well. to start with, when I first got introduced to Isogenics, Jacob Leaf told me about it, and again, I'm so grateful he had the guts to say, hey, come to an event, have a look at what this is. Because I went there and I saw Peter Kelly and Ben Kelly and so many other people there. Anna and Morgan were there. And I saw all these young people, and they were talking about the vision. They were talking about start your life. And I thought, whoa, what is this? Happy, crazy, everyone looking hot, little community, young people. I thought, oh my God, I want to be part of that. Holy moly. There is no way I wasn't going to be part of that. So to be honest, when I first started, you know, it was all about the vision. It was almost like it was literally all about the vision. We knew nothing about how to even do network marketing. All we did was just like, vision, be part of this. This is amazing. Look at what we're doing as young people, as a community. It was the first time in my life where I was part of a group of young people that wanted me to be happy, wanted me to succeed in life, wanted me to feel the best I've ever felt, wanted me to like take this to the next level. For the first time in my life, I actually thought, wow, I could actually plan that I could one day buy my own house on my own and maybe help my parents pay their mortgage faster. And, you know, this stuff I never, ever even thought. I was never even encouraged to think, because I was in this selfish mode of go to work, I was underpaid, I was tired when I got home, everyone else was to blame. I did this degree and now look where I am doing admin. I was like, oh, only 35 grand a year. I was in this selfish, negative mindset. And so when I was introduced to Isogenics, it was almost like the biggest gift I could have been given. Even if it was just the community side of things and just the vision of what a group of young people are wanting to do for the world, that would have gotten me so excited, and I would have definitely wanted to be part of it. So if you're right now thinking, how do I go out there and talk to people? I feel stuck for words. I don't know what to say. Just talk about the vision. Send them the video. If you don't even feel like talking to them, say, hey, have you got some time this week to have a look at something that I've really been thinking about? It's gotten me really excited. It's really made me think about you. Will you have some time this week to watch this? It's just 3 minutes. And then you follow up with them. My thing always is, I've thought about you. I've watched this video, or I went to this event, or I've seen this crazy girl Mara speak, and it really made me think about you. I have this video that will explain everything, and it will do a better job than me. Do you have 3 minutes tonight to be in front of the computer and watch it? So if you're feeling stuck, like you're feeling scared to share the president's pack or to talk about the compensation plan, definitely lead with the vision, because it's something that a lot of young people, in fact, most young people I know, do not have this, do not have the support, do not have a community, do not have a group of friends that are just like going, yeah, go, do it. You know, what are your goals? What's your deepest why? Like, these are questions I have never, ever, ever in my life been asked by my parents, teachers, anyone. No one's ever asked me that until I was part of Isogenics and the Start Your Life community. And that one thing that can just completely help someone out in so many ways.
Yeah, I love that, Mara. Thank you. And of course, our vision is absolutely one of the best ones out there in the world, I think. And it's so exciting. I mean, if you're a young person and you can't get excited about this, then I don't know what will excite you. So you kind of led into a little bit of my second question here. So I want to talk about, when you kind of invite somebody to something, could be like a launch party or a three-way call, or you want to send them a tool or something, to come from a place of further educating that person, to be able to give them more information, instead of coming from a place of, I want to get you or I want to sign you up. How important are those two differences?
Yeah. Look, and I'm absolutely guilty of doing that and thinking that at the beginning, because I was so driven to hit my goal that I couldn't think of anything else but I need to enroll 2 people this week to hit PIBs because then I'm going to be at this level, la, la, la. So I am absolutely guilty of that. But what I have found within, being in Isagenix, I think in 2 months will be 3 years, I have learned so much. So being part of this industry, it really goes, I mean, you can see the really, really authentic, beautiful, successful leaders are always thinking, and their intention is always to help someone out. So by listening to their story and then educating them on what Isagenix could do for them, you could even go to the point of, this may not be for you. You could even say that to someone before you even set an appointment. Look, this may not be for you, but I really have thought about you because I'm already feeling so amazing, and I wish, to be honest, you felt this much energy, and I actually wish everyone on the planet felt this amazing in their own skin. And you know what? Worst case scenario, the worst thing that could happen, you give this a go. If you don't like it, you could actually send it back. So I would feel really selfish if I didn't tell you about this, if I didn't tell you about Isagenix, because I really care that you feel just as amazing as I feel. And also it's by sharing it with a few people, it's allowed me now to bring in a little bit of extra cash weekly, which has helped me pay for rent and not have to worry too much about my bills. And that's changed my life in more ways than I can even explain. And I would love to show you how to do that as well, if that's something that interests you. So sometimes I have mornings where I just wake up and I think, today I'm going to share the Isagenix story and I'm probably going to change someone's life. And yes, I have this certainty about it, not because necessarily it's happened to me, but we have hundreds of stories in Isagenix. If you just go to startyourlife.com and you watch all the stories that we have there in the Rebels, in the Start Ambassador stories, I mean, that's something that we ask of you all the time. Like, make sure you go through all the videos and everything like that, because the more stories you know, the more amazing conversations you can have with people and make it so relevant to them and say, oh my God, funny that you say that, funny that you're complaining about this, because I know someone that was in exactly the same place as you are now, and then they had a look at this thing called Isagenix and they saw it as a real opportunity and they completely changed their lives. So certainty is something that you kind of, you can almost fake it until you make it. You can sort of, borrow, let's say, my belief. Just pretend you're Mara for one day. There's just an example, just a scenario, and then you do it so many times until you actually believe it. If you're not at the point where it's truly changed your life, or you haven't lost 10, 20 kilos yet, that doesn't matter, because there's enough stories out there that you can connect with the person that you're speaking with. So yeah, intention is absolutely everything. Everything. You have to come from a place where you want to listen to their stories, you want to listen to what they're going through in life, and it's very much likely, you guys, we have a solution for them.
I love it, and you're taking the questions right out of my mouth here.
No.
I was going to lead into some of the great ways that that you kind of share this incredible movement, and we have absolutely so many awesome tools and stories and podcasts and so much great stuff that we can kind of leverage off. So no matter where you are in your Isagenix business, that we can tap into those. So they're absolutely awesome. So
there's no reason, just to add to that, there's just no reason for you to think there's no other stories. There's pretty much someone like me out there in the world that's gone through exactly the same situation. They've gone to uni, come out of uni, they either didn't have that type of work that they just spent 3 years studying and spent all this money doing, and then they end up doing something they don't love. Or there's a story where you're constantly struggling week to week. There's a story out there that you can connect the person you're speaking with and make it relevant to them if you're not relevant to them. And to be honest, like, most of the times I'm really not relevant to anyone that I'm speaking with, because not a lot of people have done what I've done in the past. Not a lot of people have moved 3 countries and hemispheres. So I'm always leveraging stories, always, always, always. And it's the best thing, and it's, you guys, it's so easy because we have it all. We have all the tools, we have all the videos. You're literally, the only thing that you need to get certain and really good at, and do it with speed because you don't have time, because you're busy and you just want to help more people, is setting the appointment up so they can watch a video, come to an event, and guess what? There won't just be one appointment. There might be 4, 6, 10, God knows.
So Mara, let's do some examples here. I mean, you're up at the W Hotel in Bali, right?
Yep.
At the moment. So you and me have just been connecting at the pool. You've been having a chat with me. We've been having a drink by the pool. But you've got to run off and get your flight. So you're going to send me an awesome video from ISA Movies. So how important is it that you send that to me firstly, that you get a time commitment from me of when I'm going to watch that video or movie, and then you can reconnect back with me?
Yeah. So the secret with this is that you, the person I'm speaking with, you're the person that's actually making the appointment. So the way to do that is ask a few questions. So for example, if we were already talking in the pool, I would have probably already asked you, look, Steve, if there was anything that you'd love to improve about your health, fitness, what would it be? You know, if, you know, you're here on holiday, is this something you do often, or is this a lifestyle that you'd love to have, you know, a little bit more throughout the year? I would have already asked you a few questions to kind of get to know you, because when you ask these questions, you can think, okay, you can really dim it down to the perfect video that you can send, or the perfect, you know, article information, because you really don't want to just send something too general. So then I would say, look, I know we're on holiday here. Look, if you don't mind, I don't want to really talk about work right now, or I don't really want to, or I'm about to fly off, right? Look, I would love to hear your story. I'd love to hear more about you. I mean, this could be for you, this could not be for you, but I'd still love to get in touch. I do have an awesome video. I think it's going to give you all the answers. It's probably going to explain it a lot better than I will. So when's a good time? When do you think you'd be able to watch it? And then you could say, you know, Friday.
Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night. Okay, now say, okay, so if I maybe gave you a call on Saturday, you would have watched it by then.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, awesome. Wonderful. So then, what's the best way to contact you? Do you love going on your email, or would you like me to call you, or perhaps you love Skyping, or what about WhatsApp? So I'm going to ask you, what's the best way? What's your favorite way to be contacted? And then once you tell me, okay, fantastic. So how about I call you on Saturday morning? Does 10 a.m. work for you?
Absolutely. Yes.
Wonderful. So you told me you'd just like me to call you, and we're in the same country, so it's going to be a lot easier. So what's your number, Steve? Put that. So already I'm putting in my notes, I'm putting in my calendar. I can, even in the calendar, you can have a little description, so I know exactly which video I sent you. I know that Steve wants to get a 6-pack, and he also would love to travel a bit more and whatnot. So next time I speak to you, then that way I kind of know a little bit more about you. I know if you watched it. And guess what? You will have questions, or you might tell me you haven't watched it yet. Or, you know, and so then what you want to do is you want to get really good at making another appointment. And that other next appointment could be like, okay, you haven't watched it, no problem. I totally understand, Steve. I'm so busy too. I completely understand. Don't stress one bit. How about, I know, are you in Sydney next week? There's this awesome little event that happens every single Wednesday. It's actually really casual, and I can organize for you to meet up with some of my best friends. They're actually all young, successful entrepreneurs. Actually, you'll find a lot of things in common with them. If I organize for you to go to a Wellness Wednesday, would you be available? It's next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So again, you just constantly, I mean, again, and you might say, no, I don't have time, and then, you know, you might be going and finding a launch party, or maybe putting I'll try and put you in front of a different video or something else. So the thing is that people need to remember is, yes, we're going to set an appointment. It's awesome. You've got the number. You've got the date. You set up alarms, reminders, whatever you need, you know, to make sure that you're professional and you're getting on that call. You could even send them a reminder on Friday night, hey, can't wait to speak to you in the morning at 10 a.m. like we agreed. But things can still go wrong. So what people need to be ready for is not reacting badly to it. So if they haven't watched it, you can't just react and say, oh, well, you said you're going to watch it. I can't believe this, Steve. Like, what's going on, you know? So you have to just be patient. People have lots of stuff going on through their lives, and I think that's the number one thing. We always have to think, what does this person need? And if it's more time, guess what? You're probably going to be telling them, look, it seems like you don't have a lot of time to really put in, you know, to spend on something that you really love doing or expend on in one area of your life. So again, you could talk to them about anything and everything, as long as your intention is to always help them and connect them with the right tool, and just knowing that it's very possible for them to achieve something. And then again, worst case scenario, they just send the pack back. So I always remind that to people, because I think it just leaves that if you have any anxiety going to talk to people, like, oh my God, what if it doesn't go right? Or worst case scenario, they don't have to do it, or they can send it back. So I think that's a good thing too, just to know.
And I love the way you're touching on being consistent with your follow-up there, because you know, on an average, they say, you know, it takes about 6 times to follow up with somebody before they actually say yes to kind of jumping on board. I know, for example, Jen and John O'Patch, it took them, gosh, 8 times before they said yes. Susan Sly I was talking to yesterday, 21 times it took her before she said yes. I mean, gosh, look at her now, earning like $13 million from us, you know. So like, I'm sure that person is glad they kept on following up with her. So, you know, it's so important that you keep touching base.
Yeah, I think people just think of following up sometimes as this annoying thing, like I'm annoying a friend or whatever, but again, it's always, and I mention this all the time, every day we wake up and we face people, and people are just going to reflect your energy, how you're feeling, how you're speaking. If you're smiling, they're probably going to smile back. So it's the same thing with the follow-up. If you have in the back of your mind the thought that I'm going to do something annoying, oh, I have to follow up again, it's probably your perception of how you feel follow-up makes you feel. So perhaps you've had certain feelings, perhaps you've been followed up before in the past, someone's made you feel like you had to make a decision quicker than you wanted to. So the one thing you need to do is look in the mirror. Okay, have I got an issue with following up with people? Do I see it as this annoying thing? Because if you keep in that mindset, of course it's going to be hard for you to follow up. Here's how I see follow up. I think follow up is fun. I think of following up as just reminding you, Steve, that we have a movie day, that we're going to go and watch Batman versus Superman on Saturday, and I'm just making sure that we're still catching up. Following up to me is, I think of the person, I care about this person, I really think this person could truly change their lives, and I am just reminding them of how amazing this gift is, this opportunity is. It's an awesome reminder that a lot of people, I can't even tell you how many people have thanked me that I've reminded them that, hey, you know, would you be ready this week to kind of have a look or catch up? And every time you can have fun with it. It doesn't always have to be really formal, an appointment. Look, the appointment thing is good now. For me, for example, I literally gone from feeling so awkward, no one's going to trust me, no one's going to take me seriously with appointments, to now people messaging me and saying, I know you're really busy, you might not even take this appointment, you might not even have time, but could you please help me with this? And I'm like, whoa, what's just happened from like, oh my God, this feels so awkward, I feel like I'm in like corporate or something trying to make an appointment, to like, I think you're really busy. By the way your Facebook looks like, you're always traveling. You're probably on a plane right now, but I'd love to hear more about what you do and what your life is all about. What the hell are you doing? So that's only happened because I've taken my time seriously, and I started respecting what Isagenix was really about. Here's the thing, you guys. Isagenix is changing lives. You don't have to wait for yours to have this thing. It's a constant thing. It's a never-ending journey. My life, it's constantly improving, constantly changing by just being part of Isagenix, by keeping committed to my program, having my sometimes 3 shakes a day, by sharing this incredible opportunity with people and just educating them on what this is. A lot of people probably don't want what I have right now, but then I probably know a story. I probably know someone already, whether it's on startyourlife.com or in the Isagenix community, that I can connect them with, and then it would make it really relevant. So I think it's understanding that just because it's maybe not happening to you right now, it's understanding that this is a true gift. And when I go out there now and speak to people, I just know from the bottom of my heart that this could really, really change their lives. Like really, really change their lives. And the follow-up for me is like, if I don't follow up with these guys, they may never really get started on this. And I think, you know what, worst case scenario, they send it back. But best case scenario, they will just thank me a million times, and then I'm going to show them how to change their lives, how to pay for their mortgage, how to put their kids in private schools, how to never ever have anxiety going to bed and thinking thoughts about how am I going to afford to pay those bills, how to always have energy and have this mental focus and just feel so good and happy and confident in their skin, and tap them in one of the most positive, happiest communities in the world. So again, I'm getting emotional here. I think it really does start with how you feel about Isagenix. So following up then becomes almost like your duty, you guys. It becomes that's all you need to do. All we need to do is talk to people, connect with them, network with them, and just really find the best way to help them with our amazing solutions that Isagenix has just gifted to us. They should say, here. It's just for me, it's like I'm gifting myself, gifting people. That's how I go out with it. So if you're listening out there, just make it all about the love, share the love, just tell people how amazing you feel and how you'd love for them to feel just as amazing. And just start there. Just start small.
But hey, you can always bring it back to that person's why. So, remember when you and me were talking in the pool and Steve, you said you wanted bigger abs or you wanted more time freedom. You can always bring it back to kind of my hot button of why I wanted to do this, right?
Exactly. Listening is really very important. You can't go out there and think I need to get them. You have to say, look, I don't have a lot of time to talk to you right now, but I really want to hear your story. I really want to hear what you're all about, and perhaps this may not be for you, but if it is, I can show you a way how you can get ripped and get a six-pack. And then if you really, really want to, if you're really looking into having a bit more time and travel more, look, I can show you exactly what I've done, or I can show you exactly what Ben Kelly's done, or I can show you exactly what Jackson Parr's done to achieve this. And I could probably even set up a 3-way call with them. And I honestly would just love to help you as much as I can to see how this opportunity could change or improve your life.
Okay, love it, love it. So one of the things we know about being successful in this business is keeping it simple, keeping it duplicatable, and all of the stuff that you and I have talked about today, Mara, is all found in one easy place. And one of the great tools that we have, of course, is our new associate checklist. Boom, 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 boom. So, Mara, let's just kind of whiz through this for a minute and kind of just let people know where they can find it first and foremost if you don't already know where it is, and what a great tool this is to use and to really kind of have millions of them at home ready to just go, 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 go.
So, I mean, if the people that are listening to this now and really want to go for the business, you have to have a look at isagenixbusiness.com. That is like the hub. That is like your manual of how to do this. It's all there for you. So literally you click on start here and you've got all your steps. You're going to find the associate checklist there. You can, pardon me, you can also find it in the search button if you just type in new associate checklist. And if you just don't remember any of this, you could literally go on Google and type in new associate checklist. It takes you straight to the website, straight to the link. So everything we've talked about on here in regards to, you know, the questions, how you get to set up the appointment, what's the best way to contact you, all of this stuff I didn't invent. I know, I'm not a genius. I just follow the tools. I follow the associate checklist. It's one of the best things that I've used. We didn't actually have this when I first started Isagenix, so it was so much harder to make that connection with people. Especially if you're a bit more of an introvert and you're shy to talk to people, you don't know what are the best questions to ask. The associate checklist has them there. So how good is it? You can just say, look, I'm just following this checklist. If you don't mind me asking these questions, because this is all I know how to do. This is how I got started. So again, like you mentioned, Steve, it's all about duplication. You know, now marketing, it doesn't matter what you're doing, it just matters what you do, what duplicates. So if you're doing the associate checklist, asking people, hey, what are your health goals? Writing them down. What's the best way you like to be contacted? Writing them down. You're not going to know any of these details unless you go through these questions. And then you also get to know the person a little bit better. You know if they want to be followed up with, you know if they just want to be a product user, you're going to make sure they have all the right websites for that. For example, you introduce them to isaproduct.com, isagenixhealth.net. You can send them recipes. If they're interested in sharing, you know, it comes to, I think it's question 6 or 7, it says, look, I am obligated to let you know that you can get these products paid for. So let's say you're a little bit shy and you're on the phone with this person, or you're actually in, you know, next to each other, but most of the times it probably happens on the call, and say, look, if you know, you can get them to open it up on their phone or on their computer and say, okay, so next question, this is just something I have to read out because it's on the associate checklist. So if you don't mind me if you don't mind me telling you, I have to kind of tell you that we do have a referral system. So one of these 3 things could happen. So, I mean, I can't stress enough how awesome this tool is. And even if you know these questions, and I know these questions by heart, you guys. I know how to write them all down. But it makes it so easy for you guys to do it. Every single person you do it with, that you introduce, they will then do it with their people, and their people will do it with their people. And what tends to happen is you teach your associates from the start how to be super organized, because then they will print out whichever new associate checklist they're doing with their people, so they know exactly how to follow up, what do they want, their why do they want to lose 5 kilos, whatever you're completing on there. So, I mean, if you haven't used this yet, please have a look. Like, even if you're just a product user, complete it yourself first and see how that makes you feel. Because when I do it with people, they always tell me, wow, like, there's quite a bit of a process to this. I really feel like you care about me, Mara. I feel like you care about my goals. I feel like you care about how I like to be contacted. I feel like you care that I've got kids and I'm busy and I can't just do this. So it's so important you do that. You're going to receive so much more respect, and people are going to treat you like a pro, you know, and you're doing it like a pro if you just use this one tool.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And, you know, you touched on it there. I mean, it really covers everything for you, so you're not going to forget something, or you're not going to miss anything. And I love the fact how you talked about how, you know, when you're set up like this, I'm going to set my next person up like this, and so on and so on and so on, and it duplicates throughout your whole organization, and it's really simple to use. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it to pieces.
If you remember nothing, just go to Google and click on New Associate Checklist, and it will show up, you guys. Print it out, print 10, have them in the car, have them everywhere, and just just say, oh, look, if you want to get started, I just need to follow this checklist. It's really quick, it's really easy, but I need to kind of know a little bit about you before I just recommend you a pack or put you in touch with someone else that can probably have the similar story to you. So it's there for you guys. It was made for us to be super duper successful, look professional, and have fun with it. And if you're a bit more shy to talk to people, you can just say, look, in order for me to start you, I just have to follow this checklist. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? So it just takes off that awkwardness, that unease that you have to mention the comp plan. It's all there. So it's just so much fun to use.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I want to jump to the chat, actually, Mara, just for a second. I actually want to give a shout out to the girls who are working behind the scenes. We've got Jessica and Kirsten and Madison who are kind of working behind the scenes here. So we've got a question come through, and it's back to kind of following up. So it's, Mara, how do you follow up without being pushy? And if it normally takes a few times to say yes, and then also, how often should you follow up if they originally said no?
Okay, so without being pushy. Again, what you want to do is we're in this industry. We're just connecting and we're constantly networking. And I think because of the culture we have within Isagenix, what we sort of encourage to do is actually form relationships. So in order for you to not be annoying and following up where you feel like you might be doing that to your friend or to a person, you kind of have to set up a bit more of a rapport where you might not talk about Isagenix every time you contact them. So, you know, they might have said, you know, you might have spoken to them already. They might have not watched the video. They might have said no. And then maybe a few days later or a week later, again, you guys, there's no right or wrong with this. I just always go by the feel of it. I would probably contact them again and just say, hey, how's your week been? I know we haven't chatted in a long time, but how's things going for you? Always just think, finding out what's going on in their lives, because a lot of the times people don't really ask these questions. A lot of times people don't really care how your week's been. They just want to talk about how their week's been. Or when somebody comes to you and actually cares about you and say, hey, how apart from Isagenix, tell me, how have you been? How are the kids? How's the husband? Like, what else are you doing outside of work? Like, literally genuinely be a bit more interested. You don't want to spend too much time chatting either, but if you really feel like Isagenix could be a solution for them in their lives, you will keep following up. Don't have to mention Isagenix every time, but there might just be this one time where there's just perfect timing, where they're just going to tell you something that's just going to, holy shizzles. That's so funny that you mentioned that, because just the other day I went to an event and I saw someone go up on stage and they shared exactly the same thing and how they struggled with that one thing, and then someone introduced them to this, and I know I've talked to you about it before, but you got to hear this story. It's incredible. So it's going to be a bit about a feel. Just generally connect with people, hear the stories. You're not going to be annoying if you're not coming from that place of, I want to get you. You're only going to be annoying if you really want to enroll that person because you think that might explode your business. So you have to get rid of that stuff and just literally focus on connecting authentically and caring about what's not going so hot for them in their lives right now.
Cool. Okay, love it. So I might finish up on this one, Mara. What are some of your favorite kind of tools that you've kind of used or you do use to kind of share kind of who we are as a generation of young people, who Isagenix is, with all the young people that you introduced to Isagenix? So what are your favorite tools to use?
My favorite tools to use, most times I connect with people my age because it's a little bit easier for me to communicate that way. And I will definitely use the main video, the vision Start Your Life vision with Eric on it, and this one now where I'm in it on the riding the bike, and Mary and Jacob is in it too. And I love that one because, well, it's a little bit of a general idea of what it's all about. I love the fact that Eric says, look, this is for young people that are just sick and tired of living mediocre lives, and they just want more from life. And most of the times when I first connect with people, that's what it's all about. They would meet me and say, well, how do you live this life? And I'm most of the time said, look, I've always felt like I could do so much more. I'd never really wanted to be mediocre. I mean, I moved hemispheres so I can have a better life. Of course I'm going to give it 100%. So, you know, look, I don't have a lot of time right now, but could I send you a video that's probably going to explain this a lot better than I do? And you're going to meet some of my friends and colleagues that I actually work with spreading this incredible vision. So that's one of my favorite things. And then I hold with Mary and Jacob a weekly launch party, and all we play at that launch party is the Start Your Life vision video, and then we play Why Isagenix, which is kind of long. It's about 11 or 12 minutes. But again, you'll find out, you'll get, I always tell people, we're just going to play this video now because it's probably going to answer most of your questions you already have about Isagenix. So Why Isagenix is a great one for launch parties, and then Start Your Life. But again, if it's general, if I've already made a bit of rapport with someone and I know their story, I'm probably just going to go through the videos again of all the Start ambassadors, or I'm probably going to go to iSamovie and seek some stories there, and then send them this video and say, I can't actually believe that you've told me this. We have this, you know, I know this person that's gone through exactly the same thing. So I'll probably just dim it down and I'll get exactly to the point with a story. So those are kind of my, definitely startyourlife.com, iSamovie.com, and yeah, just I'm a visual person, so for me, videos are the best.
And I've got one more question come in for you, and this is a great one. When do you use the associate checklist? Is that before or after you've enrolled them?
Yeah. So I have used the associate checklist in both scenarios, but what tends to happen more is I use it in the process of signing them up or straight afterwards. Mostly because some of the questions are more about, you know, what are your actual goals? So you're probably already thinking about starting, or you've already started. And once it comes to, you know, letting them know that they can get their products paid for, it's obviously a lot easier that they've already started. And then if they're really interested in the business, then you can go into the second part of it, into the interview, where it goes, okay, wonderful. What are your expectations of, you know, what you'd like to earn this month? And then obviously I show them how to do it. So most of the times what tends to happen is after you enroll them, you're going to go through the associate checklist. And I think it's almost like you have to think of yourself, you run your own business, and you're also the best, you're offering the best customer service possible. So if you want your customers to keep ordering and ordering and ordering from you every single month, you have to think, okay, I have to do the associate checklist once they've signed up, to really let them know that I'm there for them, to support them with whatever they want. I know exactly how they want to be contacted. I know exactly their goals, so I can check in with them and follow up again. The follow-up process never ends. How exciting. And then you know exactly. So most times it's after you sign them up, but some of the questions, the first few questions, are awesome to actually ask before you even start them up. But it's a lot easier to do once you're in the process of signing them up or you've just signed them up. So that's kind of how I do it.
Perfect, perfect. All right, Bobby Dazzler, we might leave it there. So,
thanks for the questions, guys.
Thanks for jumping on with us all the way from Bali. That's awesome. So an amazing job, Mara, as always. And I know everybody who's kind of listening in today or tonight, wherever you're kind of tuning in from. We would have got so much great stuff out of it. So thank you so much for being with us. And just one more reminder, once again, our Start Give Back Day, our global Start Back Give Back Day is going to be on May the 7th. So make sure you jump online for more information on that. So startyourlife.com/contributions. Mara, what are you going to be doing?
I am so excited for it. I mean, I would do anything. I would even give blood. I know you give blood, you save 3 lives. I'm literally up for anything. A few of us are getting something organized over in Perth, so I'm just so excited. I think this is what it's all about. We have a bit of extra time. We have that extra energy in our lives, so we have to give back. Give back. It's all about contribution. And it's always like that. The more people we help, the more our lives are going to improve. So I just love it. Yeah. It's
Awesome
gonna be
stuff. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait. All right, gorgeous girl. Well, I'm gonna let you get some pool time.
Thanks for having me on. I love everyone.
All right. Take care, everybody.
I love you all so much.
Okay. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.